What's going on, guys, and welcome back to your stock market highlights video. It's pretty much where we take the cool moments of the market and the market analysis that we put forth on our YouTube streams, make a little highlights reel of it and post it to YouTube. That way you can get through all the good stuff that you want to learn about and know about in the market without having to sit through a couple hours. So that being said, the first thing that we put on today's YouTube stream is market remains bearish below this level. So let's bring over a chart and kind of talk about that just a little bit here. All right, so this is to show why we picked that point as a reference to say market remains bearish below this point. So it's not that the market can't trade bullish in that moment. It just is that the current downtrend for the market started here, and the SMA downtrend that we're following is here. So in order for this market to turn back to a swing long or swing bullish sentiment market, we will then need to be closing above that SMA. So therefore, market remains bearish below this price. Not that there won't be bullish trading movement, but the trend is currently negative, not positive. It is at this point in today's YouTube stream that we start mapping off long desirable targets for the upside. As you can see on this screen, you can see that red box. That is highlighting the targetable long area for the day when price is accepted above that 660.33 price. So exactly how I have it drawn on the screen. If above and over, we break out up and into the levels above. We also use the volatility index to confirm this long thesis today, which we will talk about in just a bit. But let's go ahead and play this video real quick. Hopefully the audio comes through okay, but you let me know in the comments.
This is going to be the target, whether it be today or whether it be tomorrow or whether it be...
So again, just real quick, mapping off, hey guys, this is the target, whether it be today, tomorrow, it doesn't really matter. It's just when the market starts to accept over the said levels on the screen, we go here, okay? All right, so it's at this point in the YouTube stream from today that we start talking about the VIX and how we're going to use the VIX to basically determine how we're going to move the market for the day. This is at about 19 minutes in, so this is a good spot to learn. So if you want to go and actually listen to what I'm saying in the stream for more than just what we're talking about in this video, 19 minutes in, great spot to go. Basically, what we're talking about is the volatility index today in the pre-market during this moment in the stream. It's on its over under, so it's either going to enter a downtrend break or it would have to hold support, blah blah blah. Essentially, if the market is going to break down on the VIX here, would be a downtrend on the 30-minute. We are then going to take the market long today using the downtrend on the market. So we're confirming long bias momentum on today's market with the confirmation of a volatility downtrend start. That's what we were talking about in that moment, so definitely check that out. All right, at this point, we're 25 minutes into the trading day in the stream, and this is where we start to talk about the early morning pullback target into the open, where we could probably expect to see the price of the markets pull down to going into the open. This is at 25 minutes in. We use the volume weighted average price of the pre-market to determine pullback levels. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to fast forward a little bit so you can kind of see this play out.
Off the VWAP level that we've been talking about. I know there's always a lot of levels and stuff, but essentially we'd be looking for the markets to pull back out of this, just like it's drawn on the screen, down to about there, that red box. So that's kind of our first intention of resistance from the pre-market top and down, is to essentially, run into resistance. Then we're looking to basically bring the market down to the volume weighted average price of all of the traders from the pre-market session, right?
So again, just highlighting there that we're trying to pull the market down into the open, and that is going to start testing all of the long bias volume that was trading upwards in the pre-market session. This also becomes the over-under support trend for the early morning, and the way to think about that is if the long bias volume that's been going in during the pre-market session does not want to get stopped out and wants to keep their trend positive, that red box is the over under higher low support build, which we'll talk about in a second or show. So real quick, this is 29 minutes into the stream. You can see we have now pulled the market back down into that red box, said target on the downside. All right, now you'll see how we build support from here.
All right, so
fast forwarding.
Of that uptrend level that keeps the pre-market uptrend going, right? So if you look at the pre-market, it was kind of up and then it obviously went up. So if the pre-market system or if the pre-market volume and the pre-market traders are not going to get stopped out, this is where they hold their higher low and then drive the market higher, right? So also know that a lot of our pre-market volume weighted average prices that we discussed and that you see there, we use it in that fashion where we can pull the market down to it, and that would be the completion of that short-term trade. And now if the traders from the pre-market are going to prevent their stop out and keep their trend going, this is where they hold the market, and now we go long. And this is arguably our breakout spot. And if it's successful today, we arguably see the market squeeze all the way back to 66150 to 66250.
All right, so hopefully you could hear that. Again, just going on to explain, we've completed the early morning short pullback target. This is ideally where pre-market volume support gets held. Here's the breakout and the target of today's breakout. So we'll continue on. This is another very important part of the stream. We're at about 33 minutes in. This is where we start to talk about the breakdown on the VIX a little more, showing the breakdown on the VIX and why we're able to take the markets long on the beginning of the day, piggybacking off the downtrend start on the volatility index. So I'm going to go ahead, click play, try and get through as quick as we can.
Okay, we need to look at the 1 hour here because the 1 hour is the first target of our VIX breakdown. So you see how we broke down the 30 minute? This is our target. There's a really good chance that this is going down to 1622. I kind of forgot to mention that when we started breaking down, but those are always the rules. The rules really never change. The 30 minutes broken down, we're going to sell the VIX down to the 1 hour here. If the 1 hour does not hold support, then the market just straight blasts off into a long usually. So this is the moment where the VIX is selling down to its sell target of its 30-minute breakdown. Ready? I'm going to go into the 30-minute here. See this? Ready? So we're into the 30-minute. The 30-minute's the top yellow. 30-minute breakdown. Where do we target? We target down to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is here. We just hit our 1 hour sell target on the VIX. This is where the VIX sometimes holds the 1 hour support. And if the VIX holds the 1 hour support, that's what's going to temporarily or top this long move, right? So you see what I'm saying? It's like we just broke down the 30-minute. We've used that to go long the market up. Now the VIX is coming into its support, and if the VIX holds the 1 hour support and for whatever reason runs a nasty bounce, that's what's going to cause some hesitation on the top of the market. In the event there is no support getting held here at the 1 hour, which I don't think is going to happen, that's my gut feeling. I don't think the support's going to be good enough to stop this market from blowing up along here. But if it is, we'll see. But yeah, that's what it is. And if the 1 hour starts to break down, then that's kind of a new little catalyst that the 1 hour is breaking down, which then furthers the long push.
Again, a lot of information there. Pretty much, again, like we said, the VIX this morning pre-market was on the 30-minute breakdown level. If it breaks down, goes through a downtrend, the market on VIX is going to sell off. That's going to cause the long move on the market. The VIX will sell down to the 1 hour, which would be what you just saw there, etc. As a result of that kind of taking place, we should be able to take the market ups into long. Here's just another kind of like cool snippet talking about, if you're following my cursor, this is breaking down the 30-minute. This would be a back test, false break above, and then back under, sell off 30-minute down to 1 hour. All right. Real quick, let's just watch some of these long targets complete because that'd be awesome. Fast forwarding.
What is not legit?
There's the market hitting our first target long on the day, the beginning of that red box. So that would be T1. T2 would be the high side. Also where it says market remains bearish below this point. So we're essentially doing a counter long trade back to desirable over-under resistance levels. So I'm going to go ahead fast forward a little bit for us. Keep going, keep going. Also, remember, real quick. Oh, where did those drawings go? Where did they go? All right, so this is where we're talking about, hey guys, even though the market's been going up long, we still have the potential for big resistance here. Why? Because again, market remains bearish below this point. This is the downtrend over under. This is the level that's going to dictate whether or not we stay down or we flip long later, etc. So this is still resistance below this point, etc. All right, so pretty much you guys are just going to end up seeing, and I'm even talking about it here. Let's see. These are our long targets, always were for the day. Anyway, so we've hit T1. We will eventually go up. We are going to complete, I think we did it somewhere. Where is it? Right there. Yeah, it ends up completing. I already did it right? Or there it is. Sorry. There it is. There's a completion to T2. All right, so there's a completion to T2 long. Pretty much at this point in the stream, we're at 59 minutes in. At 59 minutes in, this is where we suggest locking in profit, and the market's probably going to be bearish at this point.
We're supposed to be, whatever. Yeah, so there's T1, T2 completed, and that's also because, remember, earlier we said we were in the downtrend, right? So essentially we have a simple moving average system that dictates uptrends, downtrends. And when one of those uptrends and downtrends start, we will...
All right, we're going to do a quick little fast forward here. Either way, you guys can see in the stream here, we're about an hour in. Market is rejecting right at that trend. Remember, we showed you this already. See, watch this. Ready? So now we're look at the real-time chart now. So this is what's happened today. Ready? So earlier in the stream, we took the market long to the downtrend over under and said market remains bearish below this point. What ends up happening? We take the market long to the SMA. Market remains bearish below this point. It has yet to clear. It is curling up. If we curl up and start to break this out, we might flip back into a long. But until that happens, it hasn't happened. Now, if you go on to watch a little bit more of the YouTube stream, you will end up seeing that we call the price target of the sell-off as well. So through the stream, we pretty much go on to say, hey guys, market remains bearish below this point, and it can sell down as far as the price of 658. So we also mentioned, hey, be bearish here on the high of the day, and it can go down as far as $658. That is, in fact, in the stream. I'll try to get a little bit of that right now, and then we're going to end the video because it's getting a little long. All right, fast forwarding here, so that way you can see, look at, we're starting to map, look at move, high a day, I'm adding text. This is where we're basically saying 50 SMA dictates uptrend and downtrend. Essentially, if we reject, then this is a good top, and the VWAPs are micro bearish trend down to follow in the immediate. So essentially, this is that 66211, 66250, which was our desired long target on the day, start of resistance, if you will. Now that we rejected, we're going down. We will trade bearish momentum down as long as we're below said VWAPs on screen with a price target of 658 for this current sell move, which you don't currently see in here, but it pretty much just shows all the way down bearish, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then you see right there, you see how I'm mapping off that box? See how I just mapped off that? Oh, sorry. See how I just mapped this box off? Again, that's me mapping off, hey, this is probably where the sell move is going down to, 658.40 as low as 657.44, so on. So those are today's stock market highlights, where we predicted the pullback into the morning, the low of the pullback in the morning, the high of day long target before it even happened, before the market opened, the resistance of the market before the market even opened, and then the pullback target of today's resistance before it happened. So that's pretty crazy. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to tune into the next stream. Also, by the way, I just want to bring up the market real quick before I go. Here's a difference. This is TOS. But you see how we're coming into that SMA. So this is where the market's getting interesting again, because we're getting to a level that could start to cause the new uptrend. Remember, we've been in a bearish market, so this is a breakdown. Market is bearish. This is an oversold bounce and bottom. Market reverses up, and then this is where it enters uptrend. So the past couple days, we've been long bias reversal long trading, but not uptrend bullish swing long sentiment trading. Okay, that is still to come, which you guys know I'll be live streaming tomorrow about it, and posting the videos about it. So you'll see this all happen anyway. So cheers, take care, catch you on the next one.